everybody. Welcome to Craft Time. Today we are making, surprise, surprise, this cute little penguin. I think he's really cute, and he is made from just a few materials that I will tell you now what you need. So the first thing you're going to need is one piece of black construction paper. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of white paper, a piece of orange paper, and a color. You will also need a glue stick. I like this one because it comes out purple but dries clear. My trusty handy scissors that I use probably every week. My favorite, the googly eyes. You don't need googly eyes. You can draw on your eyes if you don't have them, but if you do, it's always fun. And lastly, some markers. So we are going to make this little penguin. He's really simple to make. You can recognize the easy shapes that you might be seeing. And if you haven't guessed already, his feet are made from your handprints. I think this little penguin looks like he's ready to go sledding outside down a sledding hill because he's got his big orange feet out in front of him and he's got his warm scarf on. So maybe you can make this penguin and put him up in a window so he can imagine that he's outside sledding with you. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see what I'm doing on the desk. Okay, let's see if I can slide it back a little more. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you take your black piece of paper and you're going to have it in landscape mode. So the long end is going to be on the top and the short ends are on the sides, and you're going to fold it in half. Easy, right? Okay, so once you have it folded in half and got your crease nice and crisp, you can open it back up, and if you want, you can carefully tear it apart, or you can use your scissors and cut it apart. I'm not going to risk it on the video because that's when I mess it up, so I'm going to use my scissors. So one half of this paper is going to be our penguin's main body part. And what we need to do to transform this rectangular piece of paper into our penguin's body and head is round out the top of it. So just using your scissors, you can eyeball it or you can draw with a pencil first, and you're just going to make the top of his head rounded out. And I'm just doing it by eyeballing it. It's not anything you need to worry about getting very precise. So there you go. That is your penguin's head and your body. All done with that for now. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to use the other half to make the little penguin's wings. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but the wings are kind of a leaf shape, like or an eyeball shape, or an eye shape. It wouldn't be a whole eyeball. So it's a curved top and a curved bottom and pointed edges. I guess it looks like a lemon too. So you can think of any of those things, a lemon, an eye, or a leaf when making the penguin's wings. So you're going to take your other half of your piece of paper, again in landscape mode. So that's the top is the long side, the sides are the short sides, and you're going to fold it in half. Now if you want, you can use a white pencil or a white crayon and draw your leaf shape or your lemon shape on your paper ahead of time to get it to be just how you want it, or else you can just do it by sight like I'm going to, and you're going to keep the two pieces of paper together, and you're just going to cut out two curved lines that meet at a point at the end. So now, if I can pull these two apart, come on. I have my two little penguin flippers, or penguin wings. I guess they're more flippers because penguins don't fly, but penguins can swim really fast. So now I'm going to attach my flippers onto my penguin shape. So this is when your trusty glue stick comes in handy. So I'm just going to apply some glue to the top of the leaf shape and apply it about midway down my penguin body and sticking out so that you can see them. So I'm going to put glue on about a third of my leaf shape. and stick it about halfway down, trying to match up the other side of his body. So when you pick it up, there is your main penguin shape. Okay, so the next part that you're going to do is his little white tummy. Now, if you notice, the white tummy is the same shape as the body, but smaller. So it's got straight sides and just a curved top. So let your penguin body dry off to the side and get your white piece of paper out. And you can fold it in half, lining up the two long sides and creasing down the middle, just like we did before, and fold it in half again. So you have the paper folded in those pieces. And again, you can just take it and round off the top of it, and then you'll get your penguin's white tummy. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it when it's all folded up. So I'll actually get 4 tummies. They're kind of attached. You see, it's like a book, but I'm going to cut one of them off. The other ones I can save for a different project for later, if you want to reuse your scraps. So that's my penguin's body. I'm going to get belly. I'm going to get my body back, and I'm going to stick the glue, my purple glue, on the back of my penguin's white belly. Just like that. And get nice and sticky, and put it on my penguin. There we go. All right, so what is left to do with our penguin? Well, we need the eyes and the beak. So the googly eyes that I'm using are big googly eyes. So I'm going to pick 2 out from here. If you can find some big ones, 1, 2. So if you don't have googly eyes at home, you can certainly draw on your eyes, or you could cut them out from the white paper and do it like that. So I've attached my eyes. Those are nice big eyes, so you can see all the fish and really see you sledding. And then I'm going to use a triangle shape for my orange paper for the beak. So I'm just cutting a little triangle, just a tiny little triangle. And I'm going to put that beak like this. So the beak's going to overlap on the black and the white paper. So I'm going to glue on his beak. So here's our penguin so far, and we're almost done. Now comes the part where you're going to trace your hands. So you guys know how to do this. You can use a pencil, you can use a marker, you can use a crayon, you can use whatever you have on hand, and you're going to trace your hand, lay your hands out and trace them. Now my hands are much bigger than kids' hands. And if I trace those hands, the penguin's feet would be very large. So I'm going to just draw a hand shape that is the size of your hands so that it looks right. But if I did my hands, like I said, it'd be too big. So we have 5 fingers. So I'm going to do 5 little fingers to be the penguin's toes and a palm of my hand. So there's my kind of silly looking drawing of a hand. And I need 2 of those. So pretend you're going to trace your hand, or you're going to be tracing your hand, but I'm pretending I'm tracing my hand onto the paper. I'm going to draw another hand with 5 fingers. Once you have your hands traced like that, all you're going to do is cut those out. Now this part is a little more detailed cutting, so if you want to get a helper to help get those little fingers cut out, now's a good time to get a helper to help you do that, because going up and down around fingers with scissors can be hard. Need some practice with the scissors. So there is my hand. It doesn't really look much like a hand, but yours will because you traced your hands. And I'm going to put some glue on the back of it like that. And I'm just going to attach his foot to my body like so. And I'll do the same for the other side. I won't make you guys watch me cut out and glue on the other foot because you get the idea. But I'll show you how to make our last piece of our penguin to keep him warm when he is outside playing in the snow. He needs a scarf. So to make this scarf, take any color paper you want, whatever scarf you're interested in. I chose purple because it was what I grabbed from the craft closet. And you're going to fold it in half, just like that. Because that's, if you remember, from one side of the penguin's body to the other is equal to half a sheet of paper. So I'm going to draw on my scarf. So my scarf, I drew 2 slightly curved lines, and I drew a little bit of the scarf hanging down. So this is roughly the shape that the scarf can be, but the scarf can also be straight across if you don't want to cut the curved lines. And so I'm just going to cut my scarf out. I'm actually going to have 2 scarves because I'm still cutting with my folded piece of paper. So cut my scarf out, my 2 scarves out. Okay, so here are my 2 scarves. Cut it in half. And I've got a scarf for my penguin. And one fancy thing that you can do to make it look even more scarf-like is you can make the bottoms of the scarf fringes by cutting tiny little cuts into the bottom of the scarf. So this might be another place where a helper would come in handy, because you just want to cut straight lines, one after the other, at the bottom of the scarf. When you have those straight lines and kind of bend and wrinkle them a little bit, you get fringe, which makes it look like the fringe at the bottom of some scarves. So I'm going to do that quickly to the other side. And the lines don't have to be the same length. You just go up about a ½ inch or so, and you have your fringe. And I'm going to put my glue on, and I'm not going to glue down the fringe because I want that to kind of look like it's waving in the wind, or icy cold wind of Antarctica. And I'm going to glue on my scarf. So there you go. There's your little, this is our little one-footed penguin. And the last thing you can do is take out your markers and decorate your scarf any way you want. So I like to draw stripes because that's just, a striped scarf is just traditional. I feel like that's the classic, although we have lots of other cool patterns on scarves that you can have. So but I'm just drawing little stripes on mine. Pink stripes, and there you go. So now my 2 penguins are ready to go out into the snow and play around, and I hope you are too. So that was our craft for today. Thanks for tuning in. You can come back next week, and our theme is going to be polar bears. So we'll see what we're going to be doing, but I imagine we're going to be making a polar bear. We just have to figure out how to do that. Polar bears are white and fluffy, aren't they? And they have thick coats. What could we use to make a polar bear look white and fluffy with a thick coat that we have around in our house, in our craft closet? I'm going to think about that and get back to you next week. So make sure you join in for Miss Rachel's story time at 10:30, and you can watch the craft video anytime after. Onk, onk, onk. Bye for now, friends.